welcome back to my channel. It's Christina at Homeschool and Grace. And today's video is, instead of a weekly update, I'm going to do a quarterly update for my kindergartner. Yay! I've gotten so behind on my weekly updates, and I apologize, with Thanksgiving and just everything, life. It's just been really hard for me to get videos done. My husband had to travel back to Arizona to see his sister, and during that time, our car got stolen. So we were dealing with that. It actually got stolen and crashed. I'll put a picture here. Like, horrible. So he was gone, and I'm dealing with this, and, you know, insurance and tow yards and police officers showing up at my door at 9 at night while my husband's gone to notify me that my car is stolen. And then right after that, what did we have happen? Oh, we had to watch some friends' kids. We didn't have to. They asked us to, and we very much willingly obliged because their children are precious. And then we had family in town. So it's just been a whirlwind. School has kind of taken a pause. We're 10 weeks in. So we'll be starting week 11 this coming Monday. And so I thought, you know what? I'm so behind. Let's just do some quarterly updates, and you can just see where we're at, and then we'll start afresh for the next quarter. So, kindergarten. Ooh. Okay. God's creation from A to Z. Okay, so this will be week 5 through week 9. So, what is that? 4 weeks? Please don't show me counting, because I should be able to do this. 5 weeks. So, I'll go through each letter that she learned. So she learned about leaves, apples, nests, turtles, and us. Okay, so I gotta have my book here plus all the stuff to share with you. Okay, so she's still working through her calendar, and she's getting really good. She's trying to make her letters herself. Oh, this is the 100 chart. Here we go. Here's her calendar. But she's trying to do the letters herself, so I'm really letting her practice that. She's kind of struggled with that fine motor, so we've been doing a lot of practice with that. So I let her do this. This is another thing we've been doing, so it all dripped because I hung it up to dry. But with finger paint, I'm letting her practice her letters and her numbers just to get that skill. We also use our salt tray. So this is just an old like Melissa and Doug thing, and I've got this little stylus, so she uses this. I'm going to show you everything we use. A whiteboard. This is a dry erase one, so she practices on this. So I'll show her how to do it, and I'll let her erase it after I've done it, and then she'll also do it herself. So just a lot of practice with that, with her handwriting, because she's kind of struggled with forming her letters, and so I've seen a ton of improvement. Also, so I did All Aboard the Animal Train with her in Voyage of Discovery, and she could not count past 10, and since doing the calendar every day, we just keep doing it, you know, just counting. She is counting to like 30, which I'm so proud of, because it's taken very little effort for me we just count. We just keep counting, and it's just like clicking, and she's seeing the numbers, and we talk about it, like what day it is. So I know that this curriculum can feel very repetitive, but it's very good for them. It's very good for them. So don't lose heart in the repetitiveness. Okay, what else do we do? Okay, so for week 5, it was the read your Bible and pray every day song, and my kids all still sing that. Like, we all sing it. It's like, read your Bible, pray every day, and you'll grow. So, which is so important for the Christian walk. Like, of course, we read our Bible and we pray every day. So, I love this song. We also do our Bible each day, whenever it's listed. So, like, for the first week, it was about plants, and like a live plant and a dead plant, and how we're attached to, how we're really grafted in. But if we're detached from the tree, just like a branch or a leaf, it's going to die and wither. And Jesus is the tree of life. So you want to be attached to him. So I loved the leaf one. For apples, we learned about Johnny Appleseed. And I have the Johnny Appleseed book. I didn't bring it up though, but it's a great book. The illustrations are gorgeous. I'll have it linked down below if you're interested in it. I'm going to be honest, just with the way the year's been going, we haven't gotten to as many of the crafts as I would have liked, but we've tried to do some. So for the leaves, we did do the outline of the leaves, and she did the leaf rubbings, but I can't find her picture that she did of that. So she's done that. For apples, this was her arm for the tree, and then her hands, and then we put just a green there, and then I have it's like a bingo stamper that was red. So that's how we did her apples, because you were supposed to do fingers, and I was like, let's just use the bingo stamper. So it was perfect, and then I just put little stems on them. So she made lots of apples. This one I believe was for nests, but like animal homes. So we didn't have to necessarily glue it on, but I like to see her match them up. Which way am I going? This way. Match up the animals with their homes. I just thought that was a fun idea. So she did that one. What else did we do? I think that was it. Oh yeah, so we did the apple chart. So I didn't have apples. And again, it's COVID, so I'm not necessarily going to the store like normal. So I have a hole puncher, so I just punched out the colors, and we used, see these apples? My head. We have 2 green, 2 yellow, and 1 red. So those were the apples we used. I was like, perfect, we'll just do that. So totally use what you have available. You don't have to follow it perfectly, just make it work for you. So maybe if you don't have apples and you're doing this one, just print out some apples and color a few and be like, oh, I don't want to do a huge project, so we'll do 4 apples or something. Make it super simple. That's what we did. Let's see what else. Oh, here we go. So she also made this cute little bird adventures book. She gave it the title Bird Adventures, and look, she wrote her name by Hannah. She's doing so good. So proud of her. So we printed out the picture, these were student sheets, so we cut them out, and then she had to tell me what each of them meant. So she totally wrote the story. So I just said, okay, what does this one mean? She said, the mom first makes her nest. Yep. And then she lays on her eggs. Yep. And she feeds her babies. And they grow up and fly away. So she did that all herself. We glued it, and I just wrote out what she told me. So I just think that stuff is so sweet. So she did really good with that. Let's see, what else? As you can see, I don't know if you can see them all, but we've done all her badges. Can you see them? I think some of them are cut off, but they're all up here. And that's just where we put them. I don't put them on a string for her to wear because we typically then lose them. I just think they're so cute, and they're fun to go back and reference, when we're talking about them, instead of necessarily having the little biblical concept cards. Like these. Because sometimes I put these ones away, we don't keep them all out, so then I'm like, oh, where did I put them all? So, it's easier to keep the little badges that have the biblical concepts on them. Okay, I'm going to grab all the books that we've read. Okay, so one of my books I don't have up here, but we read, okay, A Tree is Nice, when she was learning about leaves, and this one is a Caldecott medal, so it's just the pictures are really pretty. Okay, for apples, it was How to Make an Apple Pie and See the World, which is a super cute book if you don't have it. Okay, Annie and Snowball and the Cozy Nest. This was for the week of nests. So this was really cute. Which is really fun because we have chickens, and so, learning about nests, and She then helped me that day when we were learning about, or the week we were learning about nests. We had to clean out our chicken coop, and so I had her put in the hay for the nest, for the nesting boxes. So to kind of tie it in more in real life. So that was fun. So for turtles, we did the tortoise and the hare. And this is a cute one. And she, so then we made cutouts of turtle and bunny sandwiches. We've got cookie cutters. I'll show you them. Okay, so these come with the all aboard the animal train, but we have a bunny. And then we've got a turtle. So we made, it was sandwich day, so we made bunny and turtle sandwiches. Okay, and then the last book we read was Love You Forever, and that's by Robert Munsch. He writes a lot of funny books. This one's not funny, but his other ones are super funny. He like has one about a little boy and his tooth, his loose tooth, and like one about a dad that's like really big, like these ideas they have of him, and there's one about like a snowsuit that's super funny. Anyways, he writes really funny books, but Love You Forever is really sweet, where like the mom holds her baby and like he grows up and she's still holding him. A lot of moms cry with that book. If you haven't read it yet. Let's see. So she also is now to her blending ladder, and I know some parents, or I've seen moms kind of struggle how to use this. So with the blend ladder, you take your letter. Let's just use A. That'll be easiest. Or not A. S. Okay, so you use your little, your foam letters. Okay, and you would put it here. And you would ask them, okay, what sound does this one make? And they would say, S. And you say, okay, now what sound does this one make? Ah. And I always do like the apple, ah. So, ah. And then you say, okay, now let's say it together slowly. Let's say the sounds together. And they go, ah. And then you do it together again, sa, sa, sa. And then you keep, so there you go. That's what you do. And then like, we did, so like, utter or us, really enunciate that So another reason why I pronunciate so much is because Hannah has had to have a lot of speech therapy. She had a lot of ear issues as a baby, and like her adenoids were huge and she couldn't hear, and so she's had 2 ear tube surgeries, and then she had her adenoids out, and up until that point, she kept having hearing loss. And then once we got her adenoids out, she has had no more hearing issues, but she had to go to speech therapy. And she was still doing speech therapy, and then COVID hit, and speech therapy is no more. So maybe somewhere it is, but not here. I digress. Okay, so again, we go s, sa, you'd say, what sound does this one make? What sound does this one make? And then they would continue on and make those sounds. And then you could do it this way. Us. So this like isn't fun. Okay. So if your kids are like, this is boring or this is hard, be like, I know, but it's so good for you and it helps you learn to read. And so she's doing really well with it. So we keep doing it. I pretty much follow the book to the T on the learning to read section. So each day, it's all in the yellow section. I just turn to that page, whichever day I'm on, and I just go through it. So, you introduce your letter sound, introduce your flashcard, you do the song, you do the picture cards. Then you do your tactile letters. Okay, the next day, you do your short vowel song. And your handwriting page, and your picture box activity, and the sound discrimination page. Like, I follow it pretty much to a T. There's one day, the day of the blend ladder is a little bit longer of a lesson, but we still work through it, and we do our math page and our cutting out page. She'll eventually go on to the bingo, but my second daughter, who I've used this with, she's reading, and so, and we did this in the first grade, so just, what am I trying to say? Trust the process. There you go. Okay. I thought I'd also share with you some of the pages she's done. So this one was for the U week. So we'd cut these out, and then she would try and sound them out. She's, 3-letter words are kind of tough for her right now, but she's starting to recognize, like, oh, okay, if it starts with an S, she can typically figure out, okay, that's son and Sam and Anne. And then they feel like so amazing because they like read them, because you'll be like, okay, now what's this one? Son and Sam. And it's like reading like the Bob books. Like, we know that they're not necessarily reading them in the very beginning. They're just like remembering what the pages are, and it's just building that confidence. And then this, she was to color his clothes in like a pattern, but not use the same two for each thing. I thought this would be really hard. I feel like this is kind of like maybe I'm so simple-minded. Like, it seems complex to me, but she did really well with it. She didn't struggle like I thought she would struggle. Okay, so here's a little more on the blend ladder. So this would be for like day 3 or 4. So then she makes her own words, sat, and you would again use these things, and they tell you which ones to use, and you would, build the words, and then they would read the word, and then back here, I've done this where I've had a kid just use like a do-a-dot or like the bingo thing to stamp as they, read them, whatever. We're still working on these ones. She's doing good. Shared that one, and practicing her letters and crossing stuff out, So I think I got it all. Let's double check. I think we did it. So of course, you can make this curriculum. You can do all the crafts, plus they have additional crafts. We always do the poems, the Bible, of course the practice or the letter stuff, or letter reading, the weekly reading and language arts section, and math. So what we don't do bean cup or button cup, or the making like doing the straws and doing that, because I kept forgetting I couldn't. So we just dropped that. What else didn't we do? Again, we don't do all the activities. We don't do, like, looking at each one. Like, the week of us, we didn't do all the hearing activities and smelling and sight activities. We always do the music. She loves the music, so I make sure we do that. We always do the Bible. We haven't been getting to the Cuisinart rods. Cuisinart rods. I always want to, and then that's one thing that I seem to always end up dropping. Oh, and we don't always get to the outside time. It is cold here already this year. I'm surprised how cold it is here already. It's like in the 30s. It's not typically this cold. At least I don't remember it being this cold during like November. But it has been cold, and I'm a wimp. I don't like being out in the cold. So I'm bundling up all the kids to go out for the outside time. We're just not doing it. So that is one area that needs improvement probably, but maybe in January. Maybe in January. So anyways, that is our quarterly update for God's creation from A to Z. I'm hoping my next video about this will be on our Christmas unit. I think I'm really excited to get to that. We're getting really close. I typically just skip ahead and get to it, and then go back to wherever we were, because I think it's they have it marked down, yeah, for week 16 and 17. So I'm super excited to share all that with you, because it's a really fun unit, and it has beautiful like art that they add with it, with like Christmas songs and Christmas carols, and making Christmas cards for people, and the art is just like really beautiful. Let's see if it even says. Oh, so it says the Bible illustrations are from Azari, I hope I'm saying that right, Children's Bible by the Institute for Bible Translation. Oh, so from Azerbaijan. So it's next to Turkey. If you didn't know that geography, I didn't know that geography. And they gave permission to My Father's World to use it. And they're dedicated to Bible translation in the former Soviet Union. So there you go. So they're really beautiful. I'm excited to share them. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you to see kind of where we're at. It's been a crazy year. I don't know about you, but it's been hard to homeschool this year. I'm going to be honest. So, but I'm so glad we've gotten to where we're at. I think last year was I pregnant last year? No. The year before that, man, school was hard to get done because I was pregnant. So I feel like any improvement I make from that year is like, it's a good year. So there you go. Thanks again for stopping by, and I hope to see you at the next video. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.